that we're live yet, so
yeah, I'm just like furiously refreshing. Oh, it says that we're live.
Yep. Okay.
There we go. There we go. I can hear us quite clearly.
Excellent.
Oh dear.
All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Residence of Evil. This is a special live stream. It's VIGIL. Well, the video game you've all been asking about. We are doing a live stream here tonight. I am joined by MoonGlint Studios, who is the one doing all the awesome work you see here on screen and have in past streams. We also have the comic creator for the prequel coming out, and his name is Uni Comics. Say hello, my friend.
Hello. How's it going?
It's very late where he is, so he's staying up to join us. So glad that these guys were able to come up. JJ right now is on vacation with his family. AJ is taking a break from doing streams right now because he's been doing so much for the last couple of days. So yeah, we're all just here hanging out, doing what we can. And you all know me. My name is Tony. I am the goofy one, the angry one, what have you. The guy who gets pulled out of fucking windows. So glad to have you guys all here. So we'll be answering any questions you may have about the game or anything in general, like gaming in general, movies, anything like that. Anything you guys want to talk about, we'll talk about because we'll be here for a while.
Yeah, we're going to also talk about like the game, because I'm also helping out with like the game stuff as well, like the back end, not physically making the game, but like, puzzles, designs, other stuff. So,
he says that, but we don't actually pay him for any of that. He signed the non-disclosure. He just gives us the ideas.
Yeah, I basically just sit there and be like, what would be really cool if we did this? And then suddenly everyone says, no, that's dumb. All right, we're just gonna do it this way. I'm like, okay, I'll just be British.
The sad thing is he's not wrong.
But no, it's pretty cool. We did like a stream like this like a couple of days ago, and oh my god, it was so funny because like we were streaming for like at least 45 minutes thinking everyone could hear us, and nobody could hear us.
No.
So we were talking about everything about the video game, and none of you could hear it. So yeah.
Yeah, it was good times had by all.
Yes, definitely. So I mean, like Tony said, if you've got any questions about the video game, or just want to ask questions in general and stuff like that, especially like engine, like what engine we're using and stuff like that, ask away. We're here to answer them as best as we can. There won't be any story spoilers so anything that's related to story, we will not talk about it. So
that's because we don't have a story yet.
That's not true.
Yeah, I know it's not.
That's not true.
Santiago, hello! Sorry, I had to do the Seinfeld thing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, pardon me. Oh. Yeah, we've already done. So yes, this is on. How many of you guys are putting your 2 cents into this? What do you mean? What do you mean, friendo?
That I guess 2 cents might be like an American term. So yeah, Luke. Actually, like the whole team kind of has like a say in what's going on. Like me, JJ, AJ, Ali, Uni, MoonGlint, Bob Spaghetti. Like we all like kind of are working on this together. Like separately, like during the day we'll be on Discord or we'll message each other. We'll have an idea. We'll say, oh, like how about this? And we kind of like take votes and see what will work or keep it on the back burner. It's kind of like anything you develop. If any of you have ever written anything before, like stories, and then have to like go back and re-edit, you know that the ideas that you have will probably not be the final versions of what you do. But pretty much we all have like kind of like an equal say in what we want to see, or we come to like some kind of an agreement on what we have.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Also, Dave, this game will be free. This game will not be sold. So if somebody tells you have to pay for the game or anything like that, then you can tell them they're idiots.
Yeah, they can burn.
Yeah, because the game is going to be for free, so it's absolutely free. And it's coming out on PC. You don't know if it's going to come out on other systems or whatever. So whatever happens, I'm sure it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, like we want it to be available to everybody, because we know that even though this is more of a PC era now than it ever has been before for gaming, it's people still aren't on the PC hype train yet, and I can understand why. So like we would love to get it onto consoles if possible. I mean, it might not be in a physical release or anything like that, but we could we might be able to get like a free DLC thing or something. We don't know, but it would be interesting to really get this going and get it on to all platforms. PS4, Switch, which I'm not sure if this... Well, I mean, maybe the Switch could run it. It depends, because MoonGlint like makes some powerful stuff. If you guys have ever like seen his work and everything, it's unreal, man. I'm not just saying that as a pun because he uses the Unreal Engine. Like he's a workaholic. This guy goes to town when he does work, and he does it very well.
Yeah, like we're using Unreal because it's just, it's a little bit more stable than Unity, and also it's a little bit easier to put stuff over, I suppose, and to optimize. Unity seems to have a bit of a problem with sound optimization on lower end PCs, whereas like Unreal doesn't have that problem. So that's one of the reasons why it's on Unreal. Also, Unreal's pretty cool. So right now, what we're doing is we're having MoonGlint design the main hallway for the mansion that you guys are going to be, wandering through. So it's going to be pretty cool. And we've already designed like a test room. I don't know if MoonGlint can show it or whatever, but like we've got give a percentage of how finished the game is. The game is like most pre-production stuff is about, I don't know, I can confidently say that about like the back end stuff is almost done. So like, story is locked down, character designs, they're locked down. We have a lot of like cool stuff in the works. As you can see, this is one of the completed rooms that we've got going. So this will be one of the rooms that you'll be able to walk through. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering, like, because we got this question a lot. We got it a lot last week. People were like, "Oh, is this gonna be like Resident Evil?" And we don't want to make it like that, but it's more, think of it like a homage to what Resident Evil was, because we know that a lot of people really enjoy playing, the old games. We all come from an era where, the 32-bit era was really amazing for a lot of us back then who were alive to remember it, at least, because it's been a long time since then. But we want to make this game our own thing while also paying respects to where survival horror has come from. We're not going to like directly take anything. There'll be like Easter eggs and stuff, and you'll see in hallways and stuff like that, maybe as we go on, where things will be like, oh yeah, I could see how that's from Resident Evil a little bit, but it's still its own thing. We don't want to take like anybody's ideas, but in an era now where everybody loves to pay homage, or like 80s stuff is really like chill, and now it's like in and retro and all that stuff, we do what we can,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, really.
Well, MoonGlint does what he can. Like I said, he's the one doing. He's a one-man army for this. That's because everything you see on the screen here, guys, like he's literally doing everything. And you look at like all the side panels he has and all this crazy stuff, and it's mind blowing. Because I can barely work Lightroom, and I'm a photographer, so like, I mean, I'm good at what I do. I don't rely on Lightroom a lot, but just seeing all the, like little different buttons, it can be overwhelming. But it's also just impressive to see like things like these getting made, you know?
Wallet wants to know what this is. Don't worry, the wallet won't need to know. The game's gonna be free.
It's a person with a giant penis that's shaped like an arrow. That's what it is.
Yeah. So this is, like I said before, this is going to be the main hallway of the mansion. So so like we've got the entire mansion mapped out. We've got like a cool looking basement mapped out. We've got some other things all mapped out, you know, so it's going to be pretty cool. And we're gonna have like a lot of like cool things that happens in the mansion and in other areas, like different types of gameplay styles that fits each person's game. So that's going to be pretty rad to do, especially when it comes to like changing of characters, because you'll be playing every character in the game of the ROE team, so it's going to be pretty rad.
Any influence from Sweet Home? It was the very thing that inspired Resident Evil. I mean, none of us, I don't think any of us have played Sweet Home. I think maybe JJ has. But, you know, I've seen the movie and everything, and I guess that because of those things, yeah, that's why we have Resident Evil. But it's mainly like things like Resident Evil that are inspiring us, because we're like, you know, a Resident Evil channel or anything. But we'll probably maybe take some stuff from Silent Hill, maybe, you know, like, you know, get like inspiration from that and build upon it ourselves. It's like I said, like, we don't want to try to copy anything or do anything that's really been done before, or at least exactly like it. It's kind of like, if you ever played that game called Shovel Knight on the PS4, the Wii U, the 3DS, the Xbox, and everything, that game was amazing. That was a indie developed game, which is still one of the best games I've played in like the last 5 years. And what they did was they took things from other games like Castlevania, Metroid, platforming like Mario and DuckTales, and made it its own game. So that's what we're attempting to do here. While there will be a lot that will, like, you know, inspire us, maybe even for some horror movies, it'll still be our own game. We don't want to like directly take from something that's already been done, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. As for environments, we've got quite a few environments. We've got some outdoor sections. We've got some underground sections. We've got some other cool sections that we can't talk about, mostly for spoiler reasons. You know, we have, let's see, like, you know, a cool looking barn thing, which is going to be pretty cool. So yeah, we get like, there's, like I said, each section, every player that you play, each guy is going to kind of get their own segment in the whole game, and they're all just going to be like integral and help each other out and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, like, we don't want it just to be like, you know, like all the characters be the same. We're gonna have like them like do specific things. Yeah. Since I'm a photographer, you know, like, we're gonna have like me with a camera. We're not sure exactly what we're gonna do with it yet, but we're gonna try to incorporate that somehow for like other characters to use in a type of way. Like, you know, we're really trying to make the things different, because like one of the things that happened with Resident Evil 6 was when a lot of people played 6, as much as they loved it and everything, you know, Resident Evil 6 was you know,
it held your hand a lot, didn't it?
It did. It really held your hand. You didn't feel that there was too much difference between the characters, because, you know, they were they were more so relatively the same. And that's kind of how a lot of co-op games go. Both characters like just are run and gun types with no real differences or weaknesses between them. Unlike games where you play like Resident Evil Outbreak, where everybody's strengths and weaknesses are clear as day. Or you play a game like Resident Evil Revelations 2, and that's fun because, you know, like one character holds the gun, the other has the flashlight or the crowbar and stuff like that. That's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone will have like specific traits. Like for example, Tony's character again, he's got a photography, so he doesn't have any weapons, you know. So you're gonna have to use your smarts when you play as him. So we won't be saying what he'll use, but like when you see it, it'll be pretty cool.
I don't need a weapon. I am the weapon. I mean, I've done 20 years of martial arts and everything. Like, I'm like, okay, the running joke with the ROE team and a lot of my friends in real life is like, I'm the real life Frank West. I have his hairstyle. I have like his outfit. I'm always wearing sunglasses like he was in Off the Record. And so people have always saying, oh, you gotta cosplay him. And like, I have most of his stuff just because it's normal stuff that I wear.
That's
so one
awesome.
day, one day, like maybe like on stream for like Twitch or something like that, or even here on YouTube, I'll play as Frank West and play Dead Rising 2 or something like that. Because it's been quite a long time since I played Off the... Oh, wait, no. Off the Record's not on PS4, I don't think.
Isn't that for Dead Rising 3?
No, Dead Rising Off the Record was the what-if scenario. Like, say Chuck Green wasn't in the New Vegas that they have.
Oh,
like when the
right,
outbreak happened. Yeah, and it's a what-if story, so it's not really canon.
Yeah.
And I loved it because Frank is just, he's just great in that.
You know, I've not played a Dead Rising game for like more than 10 minutes without getting annoyed at it.
Honestly, I can understand that because, like, the original one was great. The second one with Chuck Green, it wasn't as great because Frank wasn't in it, and it was kind of more along the lines the same thing. Then when Off the Record came out, people played it more because they had, they had Frank back. And it wasn't just a copy and paste thing. All characters and bosses and even the plot were different in ways. So lots of people really enjoyed that.
Hey guys.
So, like, that's why and 3 was just terrible. I mean, I tried playing it, and I couldn't do it.
I saw 3. I thought 3 was a little bit too serious.
It really was. And then 4 came out, they brought back Frank West, but it was during that voice actor strike, so TJ Rotolo didn't come back to voice Frank, so it felt just like this brand new character,
Yeah.
Oh. What's Dead Rising 4 is MoonGlint says Dead Rising 4 is cancer.
That's funny. No commentary.
Dayplayer says JJ's doing an awesome English accent, by the way.
Oh yeah. I'm JJ today. I'm Unicomics. I'm sort of like the concept artist, kind of, helper of MoonGlint. Whenever he needs me, I'm there to help him out. And also I'm doing the comic for the game, so it's going to be pretty cool. So, in case any of you got confused who I was or who was...
Yeah, because they couldn't hear you the last stream.
Yeah.
They couldn't hear any of us.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thankfully, you guys are still doing Vigil. Oh, yeah, no, it's just, like, a lot of people have, like, ever since that trailer dropped, I think we're close to, like, 1 million views on that trailer. Mainly because, like, guys like Kotaku, despite the fact that they were off on a lot of the things they were talking about, they shared it, so it got us a lot of publicity. And we're glad that people are really interested in it. We're shocked because, like, on my Twitter, the ROE Twitter, the YouTube, all the channels, people always ask us, hey, is this game still going? And as much as we would love to show you, like, development more and more, it's also kind of like we don't want to spoil you guys a lot. We don't want to show you a lot. Like, we'll probably do, like, behind-the-scenes videos after the game's completed, and it's been out for a while. But we don't want to spoil you completely because we want you to go into this game and just enjoy what MoonGlint has been creating in Unreal, and what the rest of us as a team are all putting together for him to put together completely.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, we've mostly been working on the back end of things. Like I said, like story, characters, character design, which you can view on the ROE Twitter. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you can see all the stuff that we put out. And then we've been doing map designs, puzzle concepts, like all sorts of things. Like JJ has been up to his eyeballs trying to figure stuff out, so it's been rather hectic, but like we finally got like enough ready where we can start like making more physical stuff for the game. So, and because most of the hard work is done, like the code and stuff like that. It's just a case of putting it together. So
yeah. Oh, whatever Elliot says, I just started making my own RE style game in Unreal 4. I'm a game designer as well. Are you making the game mainly in Blueprint or coding as well? I love your channel so much. That's a question for MoonGlint, so he'll type it when he's ready. Yeah. MoonGlint, I don't know if you heard that, but he's asking if it's mainly in Blueprints or coding. Yep. So he'll let us know in a minute. But we're glad people are really loving what we're doing with this and everything. We're glad that people are interested and they love what we're doing. Okay. He goes, okay. He's like, oh, okay. He's writing. He's a programmer, so C++ is a good way to go in some ways. It has a lot of advantages. But if you don't have much experience, with C++, BP, BP is a really good way to create a game. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, no, as you can see on the screen, like he's telling you like what would be like the good ways to do it and everything. Said me and Uni aren't programmers here. No. We just kind of we're an artist, a photographer. We do a lot of the background work and everything. We do like a lot of stuff, but we like I said, MoonGlint's doing everything. He's doing everything amazingly. Everything he said. Oh yeah. It says he says but if you don't have much experience with C++, BP is a really good way to create a game. Okay, cool. Yeah. Like I said, we're striving to do what we can for this. Like I said, it's one guy working on it, so that's why it might take like some time. We don't have like a date or anything like that. This is coming out, but we're designing the main hall, as you can tell from the title of the stream. We're designing the main hall right now, so.
Yeah, so we're doing the main hole. So you can see from here, this is like, I'm assuming this is Blueprint. So it's like a code of trees, like, and whatever you want made and stuff like that, you can connect it all together. So I'm assuming that's how it works. But yeah, to answer one of your questions, Fadil, what monsters are you going to feature in this game besides zombies? See, we were talking about this in the last stream, but nobody could hear us, so we're going to say it here right now. There are no zombies in this game, so to speak. Like there are zombie-like creatures in the game, but they're not going to be named zombies, and they're not going to look like zombies, we hope. But they are going to be like very drone-like, so they're more like they're kind of like a weird amalgamation of like a zombie and something else. So yeah, kind of like a ghoul. But more.
That's actually a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of like a ghoul. But yeah, they're not zombies. We want to make that very clear. Also, no, it's fixed cameras. Also, what was it? There are going to be like other creatures and stuff in the game. For example, we're going to add like a weird like deer monster thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the deer.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty grotesque looking. Once we release like proper images of the creature, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see like the deer monster. Deer monster's head is like kind of caved in. It's like really horrible looking.
Yeah, there's like a whole thing about like why the creatures look like they do. Like you'll discover that this isn't no ordinary mansion.
Yeah.
Type deal. Like something weird's going on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Any female characters? No. Well, this game takes place in the 1980s, and according to 1980s pop culture, when it comes to action and horror, there wasn't a lot for women to do except die and be background characters. No, just kidding. Well, I mean, there was truth to that. Like, if you watch like the A-Team and stuff, there was like virtually no women in that TV show at all. It was just like an all-man show. Any Stallone or Schwarzenegger movie, really. It was all action and stuff, but. No, I mean, like, we're not too sure on that, honestly. Because we talk about adding, like, we talk about adding, like, other characters later on.
Yeah, like, we're still finalizing stuff. But, you just have to wait until we announce it, really. At the moment, we've just got the main core of the ROE Team done. And then we've got like Lockdown, and then we've got like the creatures and monsters, and then and I think
something like the areas and everything like that too.
Yeah. So and some of the areas and some bosses. We even got some puzzles that require you to, to mess around with some of the creatures as well, so it's going to be pretty cool. So there's going to be lots of like cool looking puzzles and hopefully some head scratching ones, and also for those who like how Silent Hill does its randomization of number puzzles and stuff like that, we're going to have like that all randomly generated, so like that way you can't just look up a walkthrough for the code and it be 4, 5, 6, and then suddenly you put it in and you think, "Yeah, I did it," and then it's not that at all. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like that, really. So I'm still probably thinking about maybe not having like certain items like be moved around. So we don't know if we'll do that or not yet. So that sort of thing, we just want to. I hope you guys saw my comment when you barely announced the ROE game. I don't know about that. You'll have to ask JJ.
Hype!
Hype.
Gotta get that hype. Hype. Yeah, no, this is gonna be cool. Like, from what you saw of that trailer, what's being worked on now, we really want people to enjoy this game because, before Resident Evil 2 remake showed us anything, survival horror has kind of been in danger in many ways because a lot of people just kept, like copying the formula of like these first-person horror games, and like they were all over like Steam and Xbox 360, the Amnesia type games and stuff, all these ones that like you just kind of thought were the same. We're aiming to do things a little bit different with this game because we want to be different. We don't want to be like everybody else. We want this game to do good, and I mean, hell, if it gets MoonGlint like a job, like for like a big company and stuff like that, fuck yeah, too. because he's doing such an amazing job here. But it's just we really want this game to work. We really want people to be happy with it. Is this Resident Evil 2 Battle Royale Fortnite? No! Dear God, no, it's not! No! Go away! Ban that man! No, just kidding. No, I just got a big problem with Battle Royale games now. Not so much like the games themselves and everything, but the fact that, people... it's like the new thing people want to play all the time, and it's going to become like an oversaturated market type deal, kind of like with when Call of Duty was just like first-person shooter, and then other people try to make first-person shooters all the time, and they were like the reigning champs for like years. I shouldn't say champs, everything had to be online, first player, multiplayer, action, and all that jazz. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, I think somebody was asking about the length of the game. We don't know yet, as we haven't, like we said, we've got the story all laid out and everything. So we know what we want to happen within the game. But as for the length of the game, we're not sure. The mansion is probably just as big as the mansion in Resident Evil 1. So, and there's a load of rooms to explore and stuff like that. So who knows? So it might be, I don't know. It depends. But we're trying to make sure that each character gets their own equal amount of time, playtime with each character. So yeah,
and if they don't get it, well, that's what DLC and microtransactions are for. No, just kidding. No, we're not going to be doing any of that bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you. No, maybe if we do, we'll make sure that, it's free or something. I don't know. Maybe there'll be something that's released in the future or whatever. But, like I said, we don't want to screw over our fans who've, been here with us and they're doing so much for us. Donating to all of our streams and, hanging out with us, commenting on our videos. We don't, we're not just doing this for, us, the main members of the team and stuff. We're doing this for the people that love old school survival horror. That's who we're also doing it for.
Oh, what's MoonGlint saying?
Only free unlockables. Yeah, old school Resident Evil. When you actually beat the freaking game, and you unlock the rocket launcher, or you unlock the new outfits like Jill gets or something like that, Because that's
we're not charging anything. Game's gonna be free.
Yeah. Oh no, now I'm thinking maybe we should charge. No, just kidding. I'm not evil, folks. I'm not evil. Now, see, that's one of the problems I have with video games these days, unfortunately, and these companies. They do all these practices that work for some, but don't work for others. And I'm really hoping that Capcom won't do that with Resident Evil 2 Remake. I really hope that if they do add anything to the game, it's months down the line, say 2 or 3 months later. Because I hate that day one DLC stuff. It's wait, so you're telling me the game you say is complete, but now it's not complete, and you've charged us $60 for a complete game. That is what really irks me something, Is when that stuff happens. It's hey, you promised us the full game, and now we're getting day one DLC, and we got to pay $10 for it. Forget that. It's kind of when Tekken released Tekken Bowl. I think it was a month after, and I'm you couldn't put one of the most basic functions in Tekken with the game itself. You had to charge separately. I don't like that.
Yeah, sod that. That was free in the last games, and now they're charging for bowling.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? If I want to pay for bowling, I go do it in real life.
That's right.
Do it in real life. Yeah, also on this DLC is absolute garbage. So
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
What was it? Resident Evil 5 had on this DLC.
It did?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Wait, what was it?
It was the oh bloody hell, I can't remember now, but I do know it was there. Capcom was notorious for doing that.
Well, yeah, Street Fighter Cross Tekken was one of the worst things. All the characters that they I think it was like an extra 10 characters on the Tekken side and the Street Fighter side. They were all on the disc, but didn't get launched until like I think 3 or 4 months after the game had already pretty much died.
I remember when DLCs used to be called expansion packs. Yeah, me too. Like
hell yeah,
years ago.
Anybody remember the Dead or Alive expansion packs and everything like that, or the Ninja Gaiden Hurricane pack stuff?
Oh my God.
I just dated myself. I'm old.
I remember when games used to be finished and they didn't require patching.
Yeah, that as someone who's as a collector, if any of you have ever seen my room during my streams, like all the video games I have behind me, unfortunately, games for like PS3 and 360, PS4 and Xbox One, they'll end up being obsolete at one point because with all the updates that are done to games, if the company stops supporting the games, then yeah, that's it. Kind of sucks when you really think about it. And it's like, oh, you're not gonna be able to play these games anymore, and it's like, oh, that's just great.
Oh dear. What are you doing, MoonGlint?
He's making an L. I don't know.
No, he's trying to work out something.
Tekken 4 and PS4. Yeah, I remember when that game came out back in the day. And that was fun as hell. Me and my friends played a lot of that. We didn't play too much of it. We played a lot, but not nearly as much as we did for Tekken 3 back in the day. Those games were something else. Holy crap. But yeah, 4 graphically was really good. It was a huge improvement, but their roster was terrible. Like, they didn't have a lot of good characters in Tekken 4. 5 made up for a lot. They brought back a lot of characters. They brought back, like, customization options. Oh, so they added customization options. I thought that was really good at how they handled that. Ultra Street Fighter 4, yeah. There was a lot of versions of Street Fighter 4. I remember when it dropped actually today. I think it was sometime this past month was the 10th anniversary of Street Fighter 4 when it launched in Japan. It wouldn't come to us until next year, 2009. So we got 2 anniversaries next year, ladies and sorry, we got 3 Capcom anniversaries, ladies and gentlemen. We have Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles turning 10, we have Resident Evil 5 turning 10, and we have Street Fighter 4 turning 10 in America. That's kind of a lot of 10-year birthdays. I'll have to make a video on that or something. But, what about the Tekken Tag Tournament games? Oh, Tag Tournament! Oh, I loved Tekken Tag Tournament. The first one was great on PS2. That was just a whole lot of fun for me and my friends to play because all of our characters feel old as fuck, says MoonGlint. Yeah, no, I loved the Tekken Tag Tournament games. It was really a great way to extend time with friends. Like, you know, you play one-on-one in the older ones, but Tekken Tag was just like on a whole different level and was fun as hell. All the characters from the first 3 Tekken games were put into this game, and it was great.
Any plans for raid or mercenaries mode in the future? That was something I saw in the Discord some time ago. I'm not sure. I don't know about that. That's a JJ question, but he's not here.
We do it. No, just kidding. No, like that would be really cool, but you know, this is with how these old style games kind of work, kind of adding an extra mode like that might not work as well. I mean, like Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn, which I have sealed in my case right up here in my room, that one had the battle mode with the zombie Wesker in it and everything. I've actually yet to play it. I've owned it for a while now, and I've yet to play it. But yeah, no, that would be cool because I love the Mercenaries. Like, I love the Mercenaries. I was playing 5 for years, like on the PS3. Me and all my friends, some of my friends from Britain that got got the game. They got into Resident Evil because of Resident Evil 4. They loved 5. We played up until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning my time, playing those games for years. It was one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had, and as much as 4 was very different than a lot of Resident Evil games and stuff, the fun factor of playing co-op and Mercenaries was there, and I loved the hell out of those. And raid mode for Revelations 2 is perfect. Raid mode in Revelations 1 was terrible. You had to grind for hours just to get anywhere. Couldn't stand that. Oh, your tag teams, Jin and June and Kazuya and Harang. Damn, man, that's like some top tier level stuff. Stupid broken in the Game Boy Advance version of Tekken. If you've ever played that, which it actually looked pretty good. I went back, I downloaded it a while ago. No, actually, no, I didn't. I downloaded it because I have it on a Game Boy Advance. I wanted to play it on my computer. And I gotta tell you, man, because, yeah, Harang is busted as hell on that. It's great.
Everything all right there, MoonGlint?
And so sad my June didn't make it to Tekken 7. It is sad that they didn't throw her in there. I mean, technically, Asuka Kazama plays...
What's he say?
You know, I know... Uh-oh, the chap stopped for a second. Oh, okay.
All
right. Yeah, no, June's a great character. My friend actually at PAX East this past year, she needed me to do a photo shoot of her June Kazama, and she nailed it. Like, it was a great... It was her Tekken 2 outfit. It wasn't the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 one, which is freaking awesome. And my characters I usually use in Tekken are Martial Law, Paul Phoenix. I love Heihachi. I got into really using Heihachi during Tekken 5. I never really used him a lot in the older games, but when Tekken 5 came out and I thought he was dead, I was kind of like, oh, that's a bummer. I did kind of want to play as him. Then it turns out he's alive and he's in the game and stuff. So I started using him in 5 a lot. Actually, Uni, this is a funny story, and this takes place in your country, so you'll love this.
Okay.
Back when Tekken 6 came out on the PS3 and 360 back in the day, I was actually in England at the time. That was actually... Holy crap, I actually think it'll be the 10-year anniversary of Tekken 6 now that I think of it as well, next year. Yeah, so, I was in England back in 2009. I was visiting my mentor and his wife. They had moved out there for his job that he had. I can't say what his job was, because I don't know what his job was. But I was out there for a month, and it was an amazing time to be out there. So we went to a place that's a lot like FYE. I can't remember what you guys call it. I can't remember what it was called. I think like H&M or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, like, they had all these things, and they had a stand that had Tekken 6 in it. And I'm like, oh, man, oh God, I gotta play this. So, kind of like back in the old days when I would challenge people in the arcades to fights in, like, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken 3, all these games, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. I challenged everybody for a couple of British pounds and everything, and I was beating them. And when they found out I was an American, they're like, what? You're beating us again? And I was like, oh God, no, guys, that was like 300 years ago. Come on, we're friends now. We're all friends.
Oh,
although I am from Boston, and we did kind of dump a lot of your tea into the harbor there.
Oh my God.
And they're like, oh, you got the accent.
I don't even drink tea. That's the funny thing. It's weird. I'm a British guy that doesn't drink tea.
Dude, I'm an Italian, and I don't drink wine. I don't drink at all. So it's totally all right.
Hey, oh yeah, by the way, you may see there's a whole bunch of emotes in the chat. You know, if you subscribe or sponsor the channel, I believe you can get all those little icons and stuff like that, and a cool little row badge as well. So, you know, it's that way you can show off to all your friends and be all cool.
Oh yeah, JJ is here, everybody. JJ, go away. You're stealing my spotlight. This is my show now. I've taken over.
Oh my God.
Dude, like, seriously, you're on vacation. Like, take a break. Nothing's on fire. I'm running the show. It's all good. I swear to God, nothing's happened. We haven't lost any subscribers. We're doing good. Trust me. I swear to God. Nobody tell him what happened before he showed up. But
yeah, he may be laughing out loud, but that's him just like panicking and worrying. You know,
he's gonna leave where he is to get to a computer fast and try to fix everything.
Yeah.
Beyond Soul asks, are you guys excited for RE2 remake? Yeah, no, dude, when we saw that live, all fear I had about that game went out the window. Yeah, I'm bummed out that the game is not in the old style fixed camera angles, but I'm really happy with it.
We've got a super chat from K-92. Tony, you got to bring out the tiger in you.
No.
Okay, guess not.
So I guess okay, fine. They're great. God, I hate you all. Thank you.
Oh my god, the Frosties. That's what they. No, that's not it. Is it? No.
We need a toucan head costume DLC. Throws money at screen. Day player.
Maybe. I don't know. Depends if we have time to put it in.
If there is like unlockable outfits, if we do decide to do something like that in the future, we'll definitely put like a toucan head on JJ, and we'll have like a broom of doom on his back or something.
Yeah, so we'll definitely try and look into that sort of stuff. So there'll be like a load of references from like ROE Team and everything else that these guys have joked about in their videos and stuff in the game.
Oh yeah.
Well. So so there'll be a few funny moments there.
One big hello from Portugal. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for keep up the good work. Thank you, appreciate that. Nicholas says, or maybe a noir suit can be the RE4 Leon gang. Nicholas, that's the funny thing. I am a huge fan of noir. I love that stuff to death. I've actually done photo shoots. So black and white is what I primarily shoot in. A lot of people have been like discovering that, because in the world of like cosplay, which I'm involved in, and other like in modeling, a lot of people want bright colors. They want to stand out, but we forget that black and white came first and looked amazing for years. So I'm trying to like reinvent people's love of black and white photography and how they look in their pictures. And even if they have colorful outfits, they still love the black and whites. So I mean, noir, I'm all for it. If we can make it happen and stuff, we'll see what goes on. By the way, are we getting RE3 make as DLC or a whole new game? Because they kind of share the same map on some areas, says Ren. Ren, that's actually a good question. When it comes to the DLC for RE2, pretty much Resident Evil 3 was going to be DLC, but they made it its own game. And I've said this before, or wait, maybe I said it on the last stream and nobody could hear us because of that audio issue we all had, but I said this. Right now, Capcom has the world by the balls in many ways. They are making a comeback that's going to be something extraordinary. Like, this is something that they've needed for quite a while, and they've been slowly climbing to it. Now with Remake coming, it's going to happen. I feel that if they're really going to do that, take your time. And honestly, I would rather have, as much as Resident Evil 3, it's my all-time favorite Resident Evil game, I would much rather have, get Outbreak first. Like an Outbreak File 3, or a remastering of the first two games on next-gen consoles to play that co-op feel, because co-op's very big right now. That's something I feel that I would like more. But if Resident Evil 3 does happen, it most likely will be a standalone game, and let's hope it doesn't take us 20 years to get. Because we're coming up on 20 years of, the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil 3 will be next year, so. Capcom really won that E3. Yeah, Ultra Gamer, they did. They really won that.
Yeah, that was such a good trailer. I think if Resident Evil 2 sells gangbusters, Capcom will be stupid not to do the third one.
Oh yeah.
Mostly because that way they can sell all three of the remakes in one pack and charge people up the nose for it. So so who knows?
It'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. I mean, I think Nemesis would look fantastic. Maybe they could actually get the character to sound like he did in 3 instead of every other version that he was in that he sounded terrible in.
Yeah, they always made them sound a little bit weird, which I'd never understood why. Maybe it was like a copyright issue or something.
Nah, it's just like they just kept getting the wrong people to do the voice for it. I mean, the original one is so iconic, and the one in Umbrella Chronicles sounds like a robot. It sounds like he's screaming into a tin can.
Yeah.
Does anything ever die in Resident Evil? Wesker. Oh! Oh my god, that would be great if we did like a 10-year anniversary for Resident Evil 5 next year, and we had like DC Douglas come and do like Wesker's voice in the darkness and just being like, "You thought I was dead. You're wrong." Something like that. That'd be cool. Steve, Piers, and Brad along with the rest of the Dead Stars, yeah. Well, Steve could still possibly be alive, but that's a road they'll never touch again because Code Veronica was pieces of crap. Just kidding. I'm only saying that just in case AJ's listening because that's like his favorite Resident Evil game, and I give him so much crap for liking that, but in a fun way. Umbrella Corps remake, too soon? Oh, my heart! Oh no! Oh god, we don't discuss that game.
That game's such garbage.
Oh, I'm having a cow, man. Oh Jesus, my heart. Where's my medication? Nanomachine, son! Heart attack!
Yeah, I couldn't stand Steve either. It was just like, Steve to the rescue!
Don't worry, Claire. I'll help.
Yeah, don't worry, Claire.
I remember those old Flash cartoons.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. The old Resident Evil.
It was
cartoons.
The legendary frog.
Yeah.
What was his real name?
I can't remember now.
Shit, Joseph Blanchett. That's what it was. Oh, $5 super chat from the Ultra Gamer. Super hyped for Claire gameplay coming to Gamescom. It's coming back. You guys are funny and awesome, and I love what you guys are doing. Thank you, Ultra Gamer. Yeah, no, we're really excited for Claire's gameplay. You see, the problem is like, all of us like want to still be surprised, and it's like we're a Resident Evil channel, so we have to keep up on the news so people like will tune into us and like listen to what we got to say because people are always asking what we think, and it's just like, damn, I want to be surprised and not know anything.
But I want to know everything. So tell me more.
I need more. But like I was saying, I don't know if anybody ever remembers that though. His name was Joseph Blanchett. He did the Legendary Frog productions, where he did a lot of he did Halo, Resident Evil, his own series that he had. It was like a little comedy skit, and he did a lot of Resident Evil stuff. And he nailed the parodies of what those things were perfectly. Alfred was more annoying than ever in those.
Oh, when he would go. Oh my god, that was such garbage.
And he's just like, he's watching the whole feed, and he's like, oh, who could have done this to my island? Who dares attack the Ashwood family name? And he's on the monitors, and he's looking through each one. There's like a hunter, there's Wesker, there's a zombie. He's like, no, can't be them, no. Aha! This girl is responsible for the destruction of my island! And it's so fucking perfect, like how he talks. And then I think there was one part where he he got mad at Claire, and he hit the butt of his gun to that. Remember when he does that to the rail, and he shoots the ceiling, and a piece of plaster falls on him.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he can't aim for toffee either, so it's just really awful.
Alright, Nicholas, take care. I gotta finish the final stage of Tekken 7 story mode. Dude, that stuff gets wicked good. It's tough, but man, the feels that come from that fight. Oh, that's good. I mean, they say fighting games don't have a plot, but man, that battle was great. Isn't that the Flash one where you could find the secret outfits? Yeah, he had secret outfits that you could do stuff with. And there was what's the other Resident Evil one he did? Oh, it's called I Am Resident Evil, where he had every character and it was something specific from their game.
Oh yeah, it was little random lines. It was
yeah,
it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, and Billy was there, and he's like, I can fit a grenade launcher in my pants.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca's was like, age is not important. as long as you can mix things. Brad's was great because it just said "for Itchy Tasty" and a zombie version of him giving a thumbs up, and all it was his voice was.
Yeah.
And Chris's was if there is a typewriter, I shall save on it. That stuff is great. I want to know what happened to him because
he's probably still making animations. He's just probably doing it in a more official capacity now.
Yeah, maybe he's been hired by other people to do them and stuff. Because I remember back in the day, this was about 2004, 2005, even 2006. Yeah. I was still in high school. 2006 is when I graduated. The only animators that were really making names for themselves back then were Tomorrow's Nobodies, which I don't think they do anything anymore. I don't think they've done anything in years. The legendary frog Joseph Blanchett, he was all over with a lot of stuff. And then there was Ego Raptor with the Awesome series. And the only one that I know still that does anything or who's still known is Ego Raptor himself because of Game Grumps.
Yeah, you got Sam Green as well. He does the whole killing spree stuff.
Yeah!
Yeah. He still does stuff, which is pretty rad.
I want, Darkside says, I want to know, $60 will be spent elsewhere if RE2 Remake doesn't pan out. Honestly, for anybody that's still worried, now I've been very critical of Capcom for years. I've been critical of their shady business practices. I've been critical of how they've done their business and how they've handled their games because it was a bunch of old men that cared about money and not games themselves. But I will say, given the fact of what I've seen from games like Resident Evil Revelations 2, the love and dedication they put into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, even though that was mainly foiled because of what Disney did, in the Revelation series itself, Resident Evil 7, whether you like 7 or not, you have to admit that it did something that people wanted for a long time and brought back pure survival horror. So they did that. So I'm willing to give Resident Evil 2 a chance in the fact that I think that they finally know what's going on. I think they're listening to the creators. I mean, plus, we can't forget how great Devil May Cry 5 looks. From that trailer alone, it blew people's minds. I went nuts.
Yeah, I'm glad they're continuing story of Nero as well. K-92 comes back with another $2. At least they're better than Konami.
Fuck Konami! Hashtag that!
Yeah.
Folks, every time I see something from Konami, I'm always saying to myself, I don't think they can get any worse. And they do. They somehow... I remember there was somebody, I think it was in a YouTube video, that was showing off fan work of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And Konami came in and they flagged the video and made him take the video down because a fan art he drew was in it.
Wow.
Oh god, yeah, dude. And I read that, I'm like, you sons of bitches. You pieces of human crap.
Wow.
It's fan art. Oh my god. So then I made a video on my channel. This was, oh my god, I think this was over a year or two ago. But I made a channel and I took the drawing of Big Boss, both young and old, that I did in ink off my wall. And I put it on, what do you call it there? I put it on camera. I was like, hey, Konami, flag this. And I just moving the thing around on screen and stuff. And just, yeah, it's, they're really bad with the stuff that they do. It was 2 years ago. I just found it. Konami attacks Twitter user so it was on Twitter. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. My god, that was 2 years ago they made that? Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's really nuts.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Umbrella Corps. What a terrible game. God, I don't think anybody played that game at all.
Oh, we did. If any of you want to watch me make fun of Konami in that video, I just put it in the chat. My site's called New to Retro Reviews. It's also, I'm a moderator, so you'll see the wrench next to it. If any of you guys want to go over and check that video out and watch me make fun of them and stuff and rant a lot of F-bombs, go right ahead. I greatly appreciate that. They charged $10 for a character slot in Metal Gear Survive. No, they did. Yeah, the most basic thing, and they fucking do it? Like, they do shit like that?
Yeah, it's really weird why they did that. It's so... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, thank you, K-Dash. I appreciate that. Thank you. They just wanted to get money, man. Actually, you talk about that for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just poor, really. It's just poor on their part. It might be a weird, like, Konami thing. I have no idea. Oh my god. Oh, this is looking good, Moon. Oh, you deleted something by accident. There we go. You should give the roof like wooden beams and stuff like that. We are using the Unreal Engine. Hate Vader. Yeah, no, Konami is just pure greed.
They're evil. Evil!
Yeah. Yeah. What's also pretty cool, being made by the ROE guys, is that I think JJ's doing like a JJ mod thing, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to see more of that. He recently figured out how to change the background art for Resident Evil 2, but he's still trying to figure it out for Resident Evil 1. So, you know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like JJ's thing, like we're all gonna be part of it too. We're all part of it in some ways. I won't say how we are, but I will tell you folks this. I was told that my Boston accent was needed, so JJ gave me a few lines to say. Again, I won't say what they are or anything like that. You'll just have to wait till it actually happens. But he told me what to say, and I ended up just like writing down a bunch of stuff and then saying it in the thing. And he said he was dying laughing because and no, I do not know Donnie Wahlberg. No, I do not know Mark Wahlberg either. I'm sorry, folks. Just because I'm from Boston doesn't mean I know the guys. But funny story time. One of my exes is from South Boston, and her older brother beat the ever-living crap out of the Wahlbergs. And when I met the guy for the first time, right? Now, this was a guy who got out of Southie. He wasn't like all those people that you see in the South Boston movies and everything, you know, like the Boondock Saints and Mystic River and The Departed and all that stuff. He got out and everything like that. So he's like, you know, he's an older guy. He's like, at the time he was, I think, in his like late 30s. And, you know, you talk to him about this stuff and you're hearing him talk about it, and it's like, wow, it's like, this doesn't seem like a guy who could beat up the Wahlbergs, you know?
Oh my god.
Jack Boy JF Production says, you're from Boston? Cool. Yeah, I'm from Boston. I try to hide the accent, but it fucking comes out because it's what happens.
Yeah, Haunting Grounds. Oh yeah, that game was so cool. Yeah, that was really weird how that game just came out of nowhere. I got that. I actually found that game just like randomly in like a sort of like Walmart type of store, you know, and it was just sitting there, and I was like, oh my god, it's like brand spanking new as well. And I found Siren 2 as well.
Oh
yeah, so I was like, oh my god, and that was in a brand new case as well. So I was like, oh. So I got them both. So yeah, and it was really weird because like we were talking about like a few friends of mine were talking about Haunting Grounds that very same day, and then I saw it, and then I was like, oh my god, there it is.
Oh yeah. Shit, we've got another mass toll in here, ladies and gentlemen. Another guy from Boston here. Holy crap! That's I think that's a first for. No, sorry, that is a second for us, because my friend Carmen, who has watched the streams numerous times, she actually cosplays Jill and does a dynamite job. I'm supposedly going down to Colossal Con East to do photography in September, so I'm gonna be working with her again. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's great. 3 mass holes so far in the Residents of Evil. Hell yeah. And for those of you who don't know what the term masshole means, a lot of people do not like people from Massachusetts because we're assholes. See, my girlfriend used to work in a restaurant. She worked at this place for almost 10 years before she switched careers. And the people from New England would go to this place to watch the ball games and stuff. Plus, it was right outside the Dallas Cowboy Stadium and the Texas Rangers Stadium. So, oh my God, like she would just get all the people from Boston. She would text me and she goes, "Your people are here and they're drunk." And I was like, yeah, that's my massholes. And so that's where everybody got the term from. So we love it. It's not even an insult. We just love when people say it. I actually still have my PS2 so I can play it. Oh, nice. Yeah, PS2 was very, PS2 was a very weird time for Resident Evil because we didn't really, I mean, the success of Resident Evil 4 got ported over. Fortunately, it was a version that was not that great because they just did a straight port and didn't calibrate, so it looks worse than it should. You know, it doesn't look as good. Code Veronica got put on there for Code Veronica X with additional stuff, which was great. We got the Dead Aim, Resident Evil Dead Aim, which was all right for what it was. And
all right. I mean, you know, fun fact about Dead Aim, which I didn't realize, is that you can actually use a USB mouse on Dead Aim with the PS2. Yeah, and like you can play the game like 10 times better with the mouse on the PS2. So you could do that. And so yeah, if you've got Dead Aim, luckily I've got Dead Aim. If you've got Dead Aim, use a mouse.
Shit, I'm gonna have to do that now.
Yeah, you should, because it's really, really cool. Like, honestly, it just works. It's brilliant. And I found that out the other week. So I was very pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like probably the best games that were on it, in my opinion, were the Outbreak games. Even though you couldn't play them online, really, but you know, it happens.
Yeah. See, I think the Outbreak games, they kind of got a bum deal because, like, at the time, Resident Evil was like slowing down, you know.
Yeah, and it was like ahead of its time, kind of a deal.
Yeah, and yes, this is the Residents of Evil game, Vigil. So look out for it. It's going to be cool. But yeah, I feel like Outbreak Fire 1. I'd say I don't know if the network connection was available in the US, but I know it wasn't in Europe. Like
it was for America, but like that was still a very weird time for like internet connections. I only met a handful of people who were actually able to get it to go.
Yeah. I managed to get File 2 to go online, which I was very happy about.
Yeah, well, weren't you and AJ playing the other day, or was it?
I wasn't. No, I was gonna like hang out with you guys doing it, but like, it was just way too late. So in the end, I didn't. So yeah, too sad. But I do want to play it. It'll be really cool. Yeah, yeah. It went downhill. God bless the 90s. There's a free game called Residents of Evil. Are you guys somehow connected to that? This is that very game.
Yeah, see, originally we were going, like, the working title was the Residents of game, but then we changed it to Vigil because we kind of got worried that there would be like lawsuits and stuff, or it would be too similar to Resident Evil and nobody would play it. You know, kind of like you see those phone games, those really like those free ones, but they have like characters from other games or animes in them and stuff, and you're like, yeah, that's a waste of time, not downloading that. We didn't kind of want that. Plus, we didn't want Capcom breathing down on us and saying it's like, yeah, you got to shut this down. Now they can't because we're not doing anything. Everything's all original and stuff. So
yeah. Everything's original. Original.
God bless the 90s. Yeah, no, I miss the 90s so much, man. Like I said, I was born in 1987. So, oh, $2 super chat. How far into development is it? It looks great. Well, as far as like characters and story and what creatures we're gonna throw in, we pretty much do.
Yeah, everything's pretty much nearly like, I'd say like the back end stuff is about 90% done, and actual game stuff, I'd say like the most of the main code, like, you know, the camera switching, the characters moving, picking up stuff and everything, you know, that's all in there. You know, it's just a case of putting the game together. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you naming this game? This game is called VIGIL. VIGIL, the something Bestowed.
It's Prophecy of the Bestowed.
There we go. That's the one. Yeah. So there we go.
Night Owl asks, "Is this going to be an RE game?" No, this is a homage. I explained this earlier, actually very early on by the time we began this. This is a game that's like a homage to survival horror of the 90s, whether it be Resident Evil, Silent Hill. We wanted to create a game that people would really enjoy because the market is oversaturated for the indie game scene for a lot of horror games, and they all either play the same or they aren't as great as they, you know, could be. They're kind of just thrown together. We're putting real thought and effort into this on the development part, and, you know, MoonGlint is working his ass off to make sure that this all, I mean, as you can tell on screen right now from the mansion, he's doing an amazing job. So, you know, we're taking inspiration from games like I used Shovel Knight earlier. Shovel Knight uses things that have been done in games before, like Metroid, Castlevania, DuckTales, but it's still its own thing from its gameplay to its graphics to its music. It may borrow from things, but it's still its own, and we want this to be its own thing as well. But we will still be paying homages to like what Shinji Mikami has done and everything like that. Let's see what. Will this game be pretty big like Raccoon City? Well, not like so much as big as Raccoon City, but we're going to have different areas. You know, when you're kind of in the mansion of the original Resident Evil, you're really just in the mansion for the whole time. Then the guardhouse, and then the underground area, and then kind of the lab. So there's not much to it because you don't spend too much time in any of those places. If anything, you spend most of your time, well, in the mansion than a lot of the other places. So we're trying to add a lot different variety to the game, while not adding too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, each area is gonna get like its own, I'd say, a healthy length. So depending on how the game will play, you know, you should get a decent amount. So it should be, I don't know, it could be the same length as Outbreak. You know, who knows? We don't know yet. So talk on the game's length, we have no idea. Like, we've seen some people talking about and almost demanding that the game should be about like 6 hours long or something like that or whatever, and it's like, yeah, you know, well, we'll see what we can do. You know, no promises or anything. We just want to make a game and not make a game that's too long where it just feels padded out for no reason.
Exactly. Oh, Ultra Gamer, no, you didn't ruin that. I knew that was happening. I like, just not from like hearing it, but just knowing the fact that like they've already flooded the stuff with Leon News. They're going to show off a Claire thing because of how much publicity they've given her already. So I know Claire will appear. Whether it'll be another trailer, probably too soon, I would say. I say if we're gonna get another trailer, I would bank on us getting a new trailer.
Virtual Battle Royale confirmed. Shut up, JJ!
God damn it, JJ! Ah, you bastard! Why would you do that? I would say that we'll probably get another trailer maybe in November, like late November, maybe December, because the game drops. You gotta remember, the game drops in January. Yeah.
Game drops in January.
Halloween. By Halloween, you know, that would be kind of cool if they did that. if they released a trailer on Halloween. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, the game will be free.
Free. Is it going to have waifus like in Resident Evil? Oh god, he used waifus, my brain. Ow. Okay. Okay. So far for that, we're not too sure on like other things. We're working with other things because we don't want to like oversaturate the game with a lot of things, but we also don't want to leave a lot out. You know, we're trying to do what we can, character wise, because you know, one of the things that, I mean, at least what I wish, I hope that we can do is add a couple more characters, side characters, because one of the things that I didn't like about the older Resident Evil games were the fact that like you didn't really interact with a lot of people. 2 I could kind of understand. Resident Evil 2 I could understand. 3 not so much. 1 was really like, oh okay, like, you know, Barry's with you and Wesker's somewhere, but you see Wesker once before the ending. You see Barry numerous times, but in my opinion it wasn't enough. So I mean, if we can do it, maybe we can do it. But either way, we'll see what happens. I know there's a demand for it. Let's see. Do you guys like the look of Claire? I got no problem with her. I think like she looks more like a biker chick now than she ever has before. And actually, how many of my friends now? 3 of my friends in the cosplay world who look like Claire and cosplay. If you follow us on the Residents of Evil Facebook page, you'll see the work that I've shared of them. They nail the look of Claire very good. Like, they are very good at what they do. So, they like the new look. I like the new look. Claire's not my favorite Resident Evil character, but I do love the look now, and I really do appreciate what Capcom did to her by giving her a like a more modern look. Plus, they gave her the Made in Heaven jacket too, which that I was very happy about as well, like many people. Nemesis. Oh yeah, video game development. I was wondering what happened to it. I'm glad it's still in the works. Oh yeah, see, now that we actually have a lot more people, we have over 100 people watching right now. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Greatly appreciate that. I know I'm no JJ or anything, but I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this. You know, PlayStation Air. Yep, it's PlayStation Air. It's me, Tony. Yep. Yeah, no, see, like, we don't want to like we like to do the development stream so we can show you the people who are involved. You know, like, you can see everything that's going on, you can watch it, but we don't want to show everything because we want you guys to be surprised when you actually play the game. You know, so I'm glad, like, yeah, the game is still going, and this is like the question all of us get asked. And, you know, we can't tell you a lot of the times what's going on because we don't want to like spoil anything, but we're really glad people are still hyped for it. It means a lot that you guys really want this game to happen just as much as we do. And with MoonGlint working his butt off like he does, I think that you will see something really incredible.
Yeah, like we've got like a whole bunch of stuff already like locked down, like the map layout, as we said before. So, you know, MoonGlint's now working on those. Working based on those designs. I suppose we can show what the map layout can look like. I don't know. You know, it really does depend, but you know, it'll be a big map. Let's just say that it'll be a big map. The mansion will be almost huge. So,
oh, we've got a Kendo fan here. Listen, Kay says, "I heart Ro came for Kendo."
oh my God.
For all of you who don't know, that Kendo is one of our moderators. He's one of our Patreons, and he is the master of memeing, which I have dubbed him. That man makes amazing memes all from his phone. Like, give it up for him, folks. He does the memes on his phone. That's not easy.
Yeah,
they've been asking, JJ. They've been asking. We just don't want to give out too much. Or accidentally spoil something. I know too much. I know too much. Oh God, they're gonna kill me. Row hit squad.
There we go.
I mean, RJ, yeah, it reminds me of Hellblade, considering like 20 to 50 people working on that game. Yeah, I mean, we wish you could play this game too. Here's the thing. If you've got friends that have a PC and they do horror games like you, go to their house and play. Like, I know in this day and age, like, who goes to people's houses to play video games, but my best friend, his cousins that I grew up with, we all still get together. We play a crap ton of Mario Party even to this day. I mean, I'm a photographer now, so I'm traveling. Not as much as I like, but I'm doing what I love. One of my best friends is becoming a firefighter. The other is fresh out of the Marines, 5 years out of the Marines, and doing plane work. And the other is a constable. So we don't get together as much as we like to, as we used to. But when we do, it's pretty epic. So I still believe in couch co-op gaming, going over to a friend's house playing games, which doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. They always, like, especially if you're Microsoft, they're just telling you to go buy go buy an Xbox. You don't need to play 4 players on one screen for Halo. Go buy an Xbox. Have fun. I just like having my friends over and playing video games with them in the room because the comedy is more gold that way.
Will there be gun variants in the game? Yes, there will. There'll be a few guns in the game.
You're gonna get the gun that Rambo uses in all of his movies. Fucking mows down enemies.
There'll be quite a few cool stuff in the game, like in terms of weapons and stuff. So, keep an eye out. We'll be announcing all that stuff. So it'll be pretty cool.
Thank you, Shag. Thank you. We got up to 105. Up, down to 104. Viewers, but thank you everybody for tuning in. That's watched so far and has donated. Thank you so much for that. We greatly appreciate that.
Yep.
If you guys have questions on guns, come find me. Jeff knows guns, man. He knows his guns. I like my guns too, but he knows them way more than I do. Will there be death scenes? Ooh, good question.
Spoilers. Yeah. So yeah, there'll be some cool stuff. There'll be some cool stuff. Nemesis types walking through doors. Not sure, Jeff. Gonna have to wait. Can't say much. What will the ammo levels like? Sparse, abundant. I think they're going to be sparse, like an actual survival horror game. So they're going to be like, you have to look for them.
Yeah, think of it like in like games like 7 Days to Die, where you come across like bullets, but there's only like 3 there. Or when you play games like Resident Evil Revelations 2, and there's like, you pick up like ammo, but sometimes there's only like 4 bullets for that gun or whatever, for that ammo box you picked up.
Yeah.
See, I never found RE4 hard for that reason. 4 just gives you all the stuff, and you could just shoot if you're running low on ammo. Shoot them in the head, roundhouse kick them, then just knife them while they're on the ground. That was like one of the easiest things to do, which is why I thought 4 was a little bit off, for a lot of things.
Yeah, I felt like Resident Evil 4 was too arcadey. Like it was too. I don't know. It was just like, oh look, you break open a barrel and suddenly you've got like a halo light of where ammo is. It's like, oh wow, thanks for letting me know where ammo is. I would never have guessed it's inside the part.
K-Dash, doors will be JJ's worst enemy.
Yeah, no enemy ammo drops, please. No, there will not be any of that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Would there be upgrades for weapons? I don't know yet. That stuff hasn't been set in stone. Like the types of weapons and stuff like that. We're still in talks about it, but like there are some things that we know for definite that are in like typical pistols, shotguns, that sort of thing, and some special stuff. And toucans might be in the game. Who knows?
Anything could happen. Doors will be JJ's death, and Windows will be yours, Tony. Yeah. For any of you who weren't there for the live stream of Resident Evil Outbreak 1, when we were at the hospital, I got pulled out the window by a zombie.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, wait, dude, did you see the video of that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, dude, if you haven't seen it, it's fucking hilarious. No.
No, I watched it. No, that's why I've been like, because I've been dying to play the Outbreak games again, and then when I heard you could play it on PC, I was like,
oh yeah, totally.
I want to do that. But yeah, it's just never. Will there be pursuers? I can't really say much on that, Chase. But we do have some cool monsters in there. So there are going to be some really awesome monsters, designs, even like maybe some like classic monsters, but like with new takes on them. So you have to wait. When you see it, what I mean, like you'll be like, oh my god, you would not have seen that coming.
Exactly. Sup, Biohybrid? Welcome.
No dinosaurs. Yeah, when you put in the cheat, Dino Crisis 3 into the game, you get dinosaurs instead of zombies. I'm joking. That's not true.
He's lying. It's true.
Yeah, like what we're gonna do for the tone of this game is like it's gonna be like funny in some places, but also there's gonna be like some really creepy and like very spooky moments in the game as well. So yeah, no, Dino Crisis 3 is garbage.
It doesn't exist, even though it sits on my shelf in Japanese.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like I have a decent amount of PS2 Japanese games, and one of them is Dino Crisis 3, Dead or Alive 2 for the PS2, Capcom vs. SNK, the Full Metal Alchemist game, Dream Carnival, I believe it was called, for the PS2. That was a 4-player like arena brawler game. I've always wanted it for years, and a couple of years ago I picked it up for like $10 at a flea market. And I have the PS3 that can play PS2 games, so...
Yeah, I've got a PS3 that can do PS2 games.
I had one originally because I got it at launch with Metal Gear Solid 4, but it died. What was it, when I moved to Connecticut to help my sister with college and stuff like that? When I was paying for like rent and everything, so she didn't have to struggle. My PS3 died on me like a month, like after moving in.
Oh, it sucks.
Oh yeah, dude, I was devastated because that was like 2000. Yeah, that was 2013 when I did that, and I got it in 2008. Yeah, 2008. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 5 years I worked my ass off on games like Metal Gear Solid 4, Resident Evil 5. I'm trying to think what some of the other big games I played on there. Devil May Cry, I played a lot of that on there. Lollipop Chainsaw, Bayonetta. I put so many hours into Bayonetta on the PS3, even though the PS3 version was garbage. And it just crapped out. And there was nothing I could do, and I was really bummed out. And so when I moved home, my buddy sold me his for like $1.50.
Oh
and yeah, well, I mean, it sadly didn't play games. Like it didn't play backwards compatible games. It didn't play PS2 games, but it was still great. I still use it and everything. I'm glad I have it because the PS3 does have a lot of good games on it, and it has a lot of memories. A lot of memories for me.
Yes, Warhawk on the PS3, such a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Dino Crisis, yeah. I feel bad for Dino Crisis because like the first game was weirdly revolutionary, like because like that game didn't really have like pre-rendered backgrounds. All the backgrounds were like all in game, you know, and it was like really, really cool. I can't really say anything else other than that, really. And then like the second game, which I feel like is like the best video game sequel ever. Where like they did away with like in-game backgrounds and they just decided, yeah, let's do pre-rendered backgrounds and make the game longer and have like time travel in it. You know, it'll be cool, and we'll put a new guy in named Dylan. You know, I mean, why the fuck not? And it was like, yeah, let's do that, and it was pretty cool. I loved it. It was a pretty cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kato says, P.S. I really like what you guys are doing in the row. I am also a huge RE fan since the beginning and have so much good youth memories of the original 3 Resident Evils. Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's good to find somebody who's an original fan like I was back in the day, because I actually saw the game for the PS1 back in the day when it came out, and I got it, and I didn't know what it was. It's just the cover of it, just like I was just like, I have to get it. I walked into, I believe this was a KB, yeah, it was KB Toys. I just had to get it. It just looked great and scared the crap out of me. Like, god damn, it scared the crap out of me back then. Because I was about 8 years old when that game came out, 8 or 9.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it was quite a shock. A lot of people began the series at 2, and then those who didn't begin at 2 that came in later, their first thing was 4.
Yeah, I played the game when it first came out at 2, and I died right at the very beginning when you're like, you know, after Leon and Claire split up, you know, and you're at the fire, like trying to fight off the zombies. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time, and I kept dying. So I was like, oh, sod this game, and I didn't play it for like years. and then I got back into it, and then I had like a chipped version of Resident Evil 3.
Oh, like a chipped version for the PS1, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. It was Biohazard: The Last Escape.
Oh,
version.
So you got the Japanese version. Nice.
Yeah. So, and not only that version also had also Obscure is a really fun game, and that's also multiplayer. But the version that I had in-game, it had on-disc cheats in it. So when you started the game, you had a whole list of cheats that you could choose from.
Nice.
And then you could just do it with the cheats. So it was like, oh, well, you want infinity ammo? Sure. You want all the weapons? Go for it. Played through the entire game with just the Magnum. One-hit kills as well. One-hit kill. And what was really funny about the one-hit kill is if you left the game in demo mode, and like, you know, you see like the game in action, where it just does the whole demo, the cheats would carry over into the demo mode as well. So when Jill comes around the corner and you see the zombie like come from behind the dustbin, you know, in the demo she would like shoot the zombie like 3 or 4 times, but because of the cheats, all she would do is just waste ammo. Just standing there, just shooting the zombie.
That's awesome.
Brilliant. No, it's brilliant. Oh, that was years ago, though. That was like good 20 years ago.
The funny thing about like your experience with Resident Evil 2, that was a lot of people who played Resident Evil 2 because they didn't hold your hand with this game. Like, because like they just expected that people had played the first one, because the first one did sell well. It didn't get the advertisement that 2 did. So the money from like 1 and all that stuff, you know, like they had the budget to make the, you know, to add George Romero direct the or write the script for the commercial. So they figured everybody knew how to play. So by throwing you in there like that with like 6 zombies surrounding you, they were like, oh no, they're fine, they'll know how to play. And if not, well, you got to learn fast. And that's what I like about games like that do that. And PlayStationeer asked, Tony, have you played Crash Bandicoot? Hell yeah, I have. Oh god, I've been playing those things for years. I loved the first one. The second one is my personal favorite. That game.
The second one is good.
I love the second one. Third one, I don't know why. I just can't get behind it that much. You know, I don't. It's not terrible by any means.
Good. I like the third one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not saying like the third one was terrible in any ways. Just for me, I wasn't really that big of a fan of it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, Rip George A. Romero. Yeah, I know. It's sucked.
It is. Gone. Yeah, he did a lot though, but like he lived to be like really old too. He was like in his 80s, right?
I don't know. How old he was, but I know he was like he was. I don't know. he made enough movies. That's all I can say.
He really did.
Yeah.
Kay says I'm not a fan of Resident Evil 7. I can understand that. See, here's what I always say to people. I was like, look, you gotta look at Final Fantasy 7. Okay, I'm tired. Resident Evil 7 was a return to horror, but unfortunately, and I will keep saying this until the end of time, I truly believe that Resident Evil 7 was done in first person just to sell VR. I don't care what anybody says, I believe that it was done for the VR purpose. And while that's okay, probably. I don't feel that VR is that big, and I don't feel it really will be.
I do.
You know, I don't think it's ever going to really be a good thing, but, you know, it didn't feel like a Resident Evil game. It felt like a really great horror game, but Resident Evil, not so much. Oh, RE7 was good until the fucking boat, then it went back to, yeah, that's what MoonGlint was saying, yeah. That's the big part of the game that, like, I don't think a lot of people like, is when you get to the boat in RE7. That really starts killing the game for me, because then you have to play through the flashback, and then after the flashback, you got to play through the level again where it's all destroyed. Disagree. Operation Raccoon City is the worst? Nah, Umbrella Corps is pretty bad. At least with, like, Operation Raccoon City, you can have fun with that with friends. I know me and my friends played that a lot for many, many years.
Yeah, I don't think... I quite liked Resident Evil 7. And, like, I really feel... Resident Evil 7, I feel, was a great way to bring Resident Evil back to where it should be. Where it should be creepy, you know, and spooky and not action oriented. And yes, Resident Evil 4 ruined Resident Evil as a whole, because
fight!
And yeah, Resident Evil is kind of trash. I mean, it's all right, but it's meh.
You know, one of the things a lot of people ask me about, they're like, when do you think the series died? And honestly, like, I don't think 4 did it. I enjoy 4. I don't enjoy it as much as the originals. But I really do feel that 6 was what really did it for me. After playing 6 and going through it, I felt really just... To this day, I've only beaten Resident Evil 6 twice. Because it's really hard to go... No, sorry. I played through the game with everybody once. Like, I did everybody's campaign. And then I played through it again, and I can't bring myself to do it again. If I have to, it might be the first time ever in my life I actually have a drop of alcohol just to get me through that stuff.
Yeah. Resident Evil 6 was just... Resident Evil 6 was just them kind of going... Resident Evil 6 is like the Destiny 2. You know, it's like, we're listening, but we're not listening, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like the fact that we didn't get a new Resident Evil game for so long, and that Resident Evil 7 came out, I feel like Resident Evil 7 was so... Like, it was just nice to just see Resident Evil going back again to where it should have been. Also, you know, I know everyone dogs on, like, tank controls in these games, but, like, they were made for a specific reason, and anyone that says Resident Evil 4 doesn't have tank controls, fight me, alright? Because that game has tank controls, it just has a different camera angle.
Yeah, and, like, you know, I mean, Leon can't even reload, like, while he's, like, running and stuff or aiming and everything. That wasn't something that... They didn't implicate that until Resident Evil 6. Like, that took them a while to do.
Yeah. No, Resident Evil 7 did go back to its roots.
Roots in terms of horror.
Yes.
Because what a lot of people are saying, like, oh, the original Resident Evil games didn't have that much connected to them. And in some ways, they're right. But with the original Resident Evil games, we didn't know it was going to become this what it is today. You never know that when you make a game. So when 2 came out and everything, that really got people interested in the series. And then 3 comes out, and 3 doesn't really have that much to do with the overall Resident Evil story, so it was just great to see a character like Jill come back. Although her being infected by the Nemesis and what Wesker uses for her in Resident Evil 5 because of the Nemesis and everything, and the antivirus. That helped do a lot of things, but you know, there wasn't really a lot of stories that they could have connected at the beginning. They could have they brought their time in to build up the horror for different games with different characters and some returning characters. But you know, in terms of like its gameplay roots and everything, they've definitely not come back with that yet.
Yeah, I feel like if there was a progression for the Resident Evil games, I felt like Outbreak was far more progressive in terms of gameplay and like controls than Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 ever were. Because also Outbreak had zombies breaking in through doors. I didn't like the time thing, like you were timed.
Oh, the virus level.
Yeah, like I thought that was dumb as shit. And
I actually enjoyed that.
I mean, but
for a challenge, it's really good.
Yeah, it's whatever. But I don't know, like I feel like Outbreak was a lot better in terms of what Resident Evil should be, and again, I feel like they just lost sight of it.
Yeah, thank you for that, Kendo. Thank you for that. Yeah, Resident Evil had shitty mud monsters. Like, the mold were all right for the most part, but then when there was no variation of them, really, like, you know, like you got with even in Resident Evil 4 and 5, there was still somewhat variations of creatures that you fought. With this one, even though there were for some, it just kind of didn't really speak to me, and I didn't really feel afraid of them after a while. I was just kind of like, oh, well, okay, I'll just shut this door and wait for you guys to come out and burn you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, the thing is, with Resident Evil 7, I felt like it put a lot of eyes on the franchise again, you know? And I feel like it did its job, you know? It moved the series on.
Yeah.
And it needed to be moved on. You know, and you know, it being not quite Resident Evil or whatever, you know, they're all valid points, but they shouldn't be like Resident Evil 7 shouldn't be disregarded as a Resident Evil game. You know.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm looking forward to with our own game for Vigil, the thing that I'm looking forward the most out of this is voicing my character. I cannot wait to like get everything set up to do the audio and everything, because like I said, I did it for JJ for his mod that's coming out. You know, like you already saw the one with him in it and everything, so you'll get a glimpse of what I can do for that. But man, I tell you, for this game itself, I am super hyped to voice myself. I mean, if I couldn't do it, I guess I would have like Christopher Walken do it or something like that. Call him up, be like, "Hey, Chris, I got a role for you, and you kind of do whatever you want to do, right?" And he's like, "Wow, I can't believe you want me to be in your game. It's an honor. What do I do? Do I act creepy? Do I act super creepy? Chris, why do you always gotta act creepy? Haven't you ever seen me or my movies? I'm a very creepy man."
Oh my god.
Like, what was it? I was perfecting that and everything. I love Christopher Walken to death. Any movie he's in, like, I will watch. Although Kangaroo Jack was pretty bad. They didn't give him a lot to do in Kangaroo Jack, but...
Oh my god.
But Christopher Walken's just the best.
Will each character have different stats? Yes. They will have different abilities and different gameplay styles in this game. So, watch out for that. It's going to be pretty cool.
Nice guy says, Tony becomes the next Steve Bloom in voice acting. I've always seen myself more as a Nolan North kind of guy. That's because I idolize him, but... well, he's great. I've met him twice. I met him 2 years ago at Rhode Island Comic Con when me and my friends dressed up as the Uncharted characters, And I only did it. My friend, she came to me, great talented cosplayer. She's very good at what she does. But she came to me and she goes, yeah, Nolan North is going and everything. And we know that you live near Rhode Island. Can we stay with you? And I'll do an Uncharted group. And I was like, I will only cosplay in this group if I can do Sully. And they were like, deal. And I was like, fuck yeah! And we get to the line to meet him. And it's a pretty long fucking line. We get there, and Mike and Brittany are getting really nervous and everything like that because they really love his work and stuff. And my friend Alice had already met him, so she was like, nah, I already met him before, so I'm not nervous. And they're like, how are you feeling, Tony? And I'm like, I'm fine. But inside, I'm like, eee! So we're like, we got about like 4 other people in front of us, but he looks up from the signing and sees us. And the look on his face was like, he was shocked before we even got this. When we finally got up to him, he's like, I've been doing this character for 10 years. Because at the time it was 10 years. He's like, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've never had the whole group. I've had a couple of Elenas, a couple of Drakes and everything. But I've never had a whole group like this. This is amazing. And he looks at our friend Alice, and Alice was playing Elena. And Brittany had done the makeup. And it looked like she got this really bad black eye. And he was like, what happened to her face? She never got that badly beat up in the games. People are going to think Drake is beating her or something. Oh, he loved it. He loved it. And my friend had like I think it was like a $400 figure of Drake. Because she has literally every Nathan Drake figure and statue that ever exists. Oh she got that signed, and he signed it, and he goes, you know you've made it in life when you're signing a figure of yourself, especially one that's $400.
Did you see the Nathan Fillion short film?
Oh my god, yes I did!
I thought that was so good.
And I was like, is that Stephen Lang as Sully? And I was like, oh, it is! Okay!
Yeah, I thought he did alright. I thought it was really good. Like, yeah. I thought the whole thing was really good.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have... he nails Drake's personality and mannerisms. Then when they zoom out, they actually do the video game portion of it and everything, kind of like what that horrible like 2003 Doom movie did, at least.
Well, did you ever see Destructoid's "Hey Ash, What You Playing" series? Like,
no, I haven't.
Well, there's a video when they do Uncharted 2, and like they go through the Uncharted 2 game, and it's literally like every scene that's in that game is kind of like a homage to Firefly. And
okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that happens in Firefly that also happens in the game, which is very weird. And it's brilliant. It's great. It's fantastic.
That'd be interesting. I should go watch that at one point.
You should. MoonGlint, you should put the sofa on the top floor.
Put the sofa on the stairs leading up there. And if anybody ever watched Friends, all you can hear is pivot, pivot, pivot. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Oh god, I love that scene. What? No, don't worry, dude. We're just kidding about the sofa being on the top floor, or are we? Dun dun dun.
No, I just said I don't want the sofa to be on the top floor.
We need it on the windowsill, like just going right out the window. Yeah. Actually, like I didn't get to do the fan project I wanted to do this past weekend, but I was at a state park this weekend shooting a Street Fighter shoot that I put together. 2 of my buddies are like super jacked, like I used to be back in the day. So I asked them to be Ken and Ryu for a Street Fighter shoot. It was mainly like inspired by Assassin's Fist and everything. So the area we found like a waterfall and stuff. We can do all this like crazy cool shit and everything. So I'm gonna have the pictures out in a couple of weeks. But the video, we were supposed to do like more fighting stuff, but we just really had a good day. But it was really fun to do. It was a passion project of mine because I love Street Fighter. But man, I really want to do my Uncharted group again and do the photography for it, even though it's hard for me being Sully and having to be the cameraman at the same time. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, if you guys, like I said, if you guys like this or anything like that, like what you're seeing, we really hope that you do. Like I said, MoonGlint's putting in all the hard work for it and everything. We've thought of everything that we could think of. for right now. There's a lot more coming, so don't worry about that. What was it? We've got 104 watchers staying steadily at that. People are really liking what we're doing, so that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why a lot of people like Kendo in Resident Evil K-Dash is because originally Kendo actually had a larger part to play in the 1.5 game. Like he was like he had a much larger role, and then when they scrapped that version of the game, they changed his entire his entire role in general. So he ended up being a nobody in the end, which is sad.
Yeah, it's like that was a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got more ideas coming up for like what we want for this game. Like, I've been talking to the team about like, different kind of like posters maybe people want to buy or something. Some kind of cool stuff like that. I don't know if people would be interested in owning a poster of this game. I think a lot of people actually would, though, if they're designed right. Now, I've actually teamed up with a lot of artists in the past, and if you all remember the ROE, what do you call it there? The ROE chibi guys that you saw over the last couple of weeks. A good buddy of mine, Nix, he made those, and he's a fantastic artist. And I kind of want to do like this great thing where all the artists that we've done work for, the ones that I know, I want to bring them in to like make different posters and stuff, like a different twist. Because not everybody has the same kind of taste, so I kind of want to appeal to other people if they want to buy that, So I'm kind of hoping that happens, like in the future. Because I like to give something back to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for the ROE onesie. The ROE onesie.
That'd be cool.
Oh god, I think JJ said he and Bob would wear those on stream if they can get them made or something like that. Are you looking for concept artists? I am an artist myself. Interesting, Infamous Man. Not too sure on like for concept, because that's what Uni's been doing for us. He's been doing really good work on that, and we don't want to take anything away from him. But message the Residents of Evil Facebook page and let us know that you're who you are and everything, and maybe we might be able to do something in the future.
Yeah, show off. Just message the Facebook. Show off some like concept art that you've made yourself. And JJ will get back to you on it, probably, hopefully, because he's on holiday at the moment. So,
can I get a ROE hug pillow? Oh, wait. Do any of the ROE members have to be on there like half naked, like those anime girls at conventions? That stuff creeps me out.
I think there is a Residents of Evil Twitter. I think you can find it on the main page on the YouTube channel. So just find it there.
Yeah, it should be on the YouTube channel. If it's not, dude, check the chat from mine as well, so you can talk to me. My YouTube thing is New to Retro Reviews. You'll see a wrench next to it. But my Twitter is One Big Boss, as it says. So you guys can, you guys can follow me on there if you want. I post like stuff all the time. My photography is there as well. So if you've got anything, send it on over to me, and I'll discuss it with the team. Oh god, we started something. ROE body pillow. No, okay, like ladies and gentlemen, like anime has disgusted me for a number of years now. Now, this is coming from the guy who grew up with anime, okay? I grew up with like the ones from the 80s and 90s and everything, and the 2000 era, which we got an amazing amount of anime from that. But over the last, 5 years of anime, I've noticed, even a little bit further than that, it's a lot of creepy, weird stuff that makes me uncomfortable. And when I go to conventions and I see people buying, the body pillows of the half-naked girls who are, 15, 16 years old, that's where it gets a little creepy for me, in my opinion. I'm all for, joke pillows if the characters are of age and stuff like that, but... anime... I mean, don't get me wrong, I love anime. And I just got back into watching it recently thanks to My Hero Academia, so...
Oh, what's Moon saying?
So, sorry, what was that, Uni?
I said, what's Moon typing?
Oh, crap. Let me look at that. Never lives the college cute of anime. I mean, more into the adult looking of the 80s. Yeah. You like the, you know, you don't like the little girl looking animes and stuff like that, the really creepy stuff. Because what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you go back and look at like stuff from the 80s and everything, like the animes of the 80s and 90s, characters looked more realistic. That you know, like nowadays it's like these tiny little anime girls with like chests like way bigger than their head and body size could support, or you know, just really disfigured looking. And I want to kind of blame High School of the Dead. Now, guilty pleasure, I love that show because we know what, like, the creator knew what it was, the animators knew what it was. It was literally a fan service show with a lot of fucking killing and a lot of boobies. That's what it was. But I still love the show because who doesn't love zombie stuff, right? But other animes do take what High School of the Dead did, but make it really creepy with a lot of the crap that happens. And then like they make the characters look really childish, and it's just very creepy. But if you look at like animes of the 80s, or even like in the 90s, such as like Trigun, and well, I think that was like no, that was 90, 98, 99, and Cowboy Bebop especially, the anime, or Akira, however you want to say it. That art style was done very well. Dragon Ball had a lot of perverted scenes with Bulma. Yeah, they really did. But also, you gotta remember, too, Dragon Ball was, like, very early 80s. And a lot of that stuff for anime was alright back then. But now it's kind of like an oversaturation of this in anime. Like, they gotta find, like... I mean, like, what's that one that my friends wanted me to shoot at Colossal Con? Keijo or Kaijo or whatever it is. It's that anime where the girls in swimsuits battle on, like, these flotation... They stand on these, like, float things, and they have to hit each other off with their butts to their chests, and I'm like, this is just stupid. They're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Like, it's just, I don't know, Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Tokyo Ghoul myself, but I do like the art style and that they've done with it, so that much I can agree with. You know, that one's a really good one. Like I said, My Hero Academia is phenomenal because it's really the first anime I've seen in years that I can really truly enjoy. I feel that it's a lot along the lines of like Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, all the animes of like the 2000s that were great are there now. Yeah, I mean, like, it's okay if you're like fan of fan service and stuff, you know, like I understand, but like it's just, anime just gets to me sometimes. Hellsing, thank you, Fallen Lord. That's another great anime that's just completely over the top and freaking violent as hell. Like, that show is great, but it has a point to it. It's really interesting how they did that show, and Hellsing Ultimate was, like, literally the ultimate version. It was way bloodier and more violent. A lot more fucked up, but it was still, you know, really awesome. Bobby asks, what's your favorite gun in the series? Can't go wrong with any Magnum. Any Magnum in the series, especially like Barry's the Colt Anaconda that he uses in Remake. I fucking love that gun and would love to own it one day in real life, because a version of that does exist, but because it got popular in games and certain movies, the price on those went up and they don't really make them as much anymore, so they're like, you're gonna be paying like $4 or $5 grand for them. Magnum is always the best gun. I will admit, I was a fan of the Gatling gun from Resident Evil 3. Was a really big fan of the Gatling gun, even though it's completely stupid and awesome. Elfen Lied messed me up. Yes, Kendo. Yeah, Elfen Lied was really a dark anime. It's really hard to top that anime. Like that and Hellsing are really screwed up. Or what was that one that came out in like the mid 2000s? Like they May Cry or something like that, where they were all like torturing each other, ripping off each other's fingernails. That was pretty disgusting. Where would you start off if you were in Raccoon City? Well, if it was me and I was living in an apartment, I probably wouldn't leave the apartment, or I would just like get to the roof and everything and just stay up there so nothing could get to me and make sure I had a way off. Kind of like if you play, is that a zombie apocalypse game for the PS3 or 4? I can't remember what it was called, but like the guy like would kick down steps and everything to get to other booths. But yeah, that's where I would start. Uni, where would you start off if you were in Raccoon City?
I would start off. I don't know, actually. Oh, bloody hell, that's so hard. I would probably start off in the flats, right at the beginning of Resident Evil 3, and then go from there. Really, you know.
There you go.
That factory where that weird, fat guy that's in that. the first dude.
Oh,
like
Dario,
yelling. Yeah, he's just yelling at Jill for no reason.
No! I'll starve to death in here. They'll be eaten by one of those undead monsters. Now leave me alone.
Yeah.
and you go to the door and you try to talk to him again. He's like, "I told you, I'm never leaving, never.
Yeah.
Just get away from me."
Yeah. It's a shame that when you go back to that place, like if you go back, you'll find him that he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He gets eaten alive by the zombies.
Oh, he does. He does.
Like, oh no! Just like his daughter gets eaten. Yeah. Yeah, he gets ripped.
He gets riggedy ripped. Yeah, I said it. Dario Rosso, prick.
Yeah, he is.
Higurashi. Oh yeah, Higurashi. Yeah, that's what it was. That anime with all the girls killing themselves and all that crazy ass shit. That was. I didn't really watch a lot of that anime. It was kind of fucked up for me. And yet somehow I sat through Elfen Lied, which I read the manga, and man, I wish Elfen Lied went by the manga than the anime. I mean, the anime's good for what it is, but it kind of leaves things unresolved, it feels, in many ways. Actually, fun fact, for anybody who watches The Walking Dead, that love interest that Carol had in, like, this past season, I think his name was Tobin or something like that. The voice actor for that was Bondo in Elfen Lied, who also is now the voice actor, and has been for the last couple of years, of Lord Beerus from Dragon Ball Z. So that's pretty crazy. Did you ever read Claymore? I never read the Claymore manga, but I've seen a lot of AMVs about the show, and I always heard the same thing. The anime is all right, but the manga does it just like the manga is way better, and that seems to be like a normal thing. The manga is always better, unless the anime came first, and the manga, when it gets made second, usually isn't that great. Do you have a musician for Vigil?
I think AJ had said something about that. So yeah, there is like a soundtrack, I believe.
Yeah,
but you have to ask JJ about that. I'm not in the know on that sort of thing.
the anime's ending isn't the real one. Oh yeah, no, I know that. I know how it ends in the manga, and it was actually great in the manga too, like how Elfen Lied ended. But yeah. What if Robert Kirkman directed a Resident Evil TV series? What'd your reactions be? Infamous Man.
It'll be very slow and boring.
Yeah, I don't really like Robert Kirkman that much. He's kind of a pompous asshole, in my opinion. And I'll say that straight to his face. With how how he took the comic books and everything, like he kind of drove away the others. And see, his problem is too, he takes on way too much. He's still working with the comics. He's doing the TV show stuff. He's got his other TV shows, his other comics. The guy stretches him out so much that you can tell that the work will suffer in the way they choose to take things. So, I don't know if I'd be happy if he was on board. Like I said, I've never really been a fan of him per se as a person or really an artist. So, I read the comic books, but you know what I'm saying. That's what happens when you take on too many projects like that, like Seth MacFarlane. Look at all the stuff he does. At one point, it's gonna hurt when you're the driving force behind a lot of your stuff, and you leave it in the hands of the others. There's gonna be major changes. K-Dash asks, will there be any cheesy voice acting? Oh God, yeah, there will be cheesy voice acting in this, but it's not gonna be like Resident Evil 1 type. It will be cheesy though. We're like akinning it to like 1980s kind of cheesy acting in action movies or anything like that, That's kind of what we're doing. I think, honestly, for one thing about The Walking Dead, in my opinion, I think one of the things that would have saved it from going down the route that it fucking did was if all those companies 10 years ago were smart and didn't pass up the chance to, work with them and make the thing, because AMC was the only one that gave them a chance. Because you got to remember, like, zombies really weren't a big deal before The Walking Dead. Yes, we had Resident Evil, we had zombie movies still happening, we had like Dawn of the Dead remake in 2004, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but I actually really enjoyed that movie. We
had like a few zombie movies here and there, but it was just like it's nowhere near to the point where it's like at the point of fatigue,
Yeah, so I just feel like that, maybe, what do you call it there? I just think that if we gotten like HBO to get a hold of it, or Stars, or whatever the ones like do like whatever Game of Thrones is on. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I think The Walking Dead would have done better, in my opinion, and wouldn't have dropped off pretty much after season 3. Although there's a lot of stuff I like about later seasons, honestly. There is a lot that I do like about them. The remake Dawn of the Dead is amazing. Yeah, I don't know why a lot of people didn't like the remake. I really did. And I grew up with the original Dawn of the Dead. Anything. So when I saw the remake in theaters, granted, me being afraid of everything like I am, I shouldn't have seen that movie in theaters as a kid. I was like 14, but still, it was pretty freaky. But they did a lot of awesome things in that movie, a lot of funny things. Did drag a little bit, but I think it was still a decent movie for what it was. And then a couple years later, we got Dead Rising, which everyone's like, oh, they're ripping off George Romero. Oh, this is just like the movie. It's more like a homage, everything, and people.
Yeah, they had to. Yeah, they had to put like a disclaimer on the box to say this has no affiliation with the George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead.
That's right. Box. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was so weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like the remake of Dawn of the Dead was pretty good. Like for modern take on that film.
Yeah.
Also, that was when Zack Snyder was actually good at making films.
Yeah, it was.
and I feel like because like the Dawn of the Dead films are so weird, because the first one, the black and white one, like that film was like, I recently watched it, and I actually quite like it a lot.
That's very good.
Yeah, and the thing that makes me sad, well, it doesn't make me sad, but it's like, it's kind of sad, that a movie like that ended up being in the public domain, so now anyone can just remake it and do what they want with it, which is a shame. But like, you did get that one good like Tom Savini remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then And then you had like the Return of the Living Dead, you know, those like weird little films, which I thought were pretty fun.
Return of the Living Dead. Which was that the one where they were underground in that underground military bunker?
Kind of. No. That's the third film. No, the Return of the Living Dead is like it's like a weird like offshoot of those films. Like it has the only affiliation is the fact that the very first film had referenced the George A. Romero film. You know.
Yeah. Oh wait, was this the one with the tar man?
Kind of, yeah. It had like the weird like monster who looked like he was like had like a bunch of tar dropped onto him.
Yeah, those things like he was creepy in those movies. Like they had good ways of like introducing him to actually like give you like a good jump scare and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I see like the behind the scenes, like how like they did like a lot of stuff with him, like on like with wires, and like they had like a person like in like a black suit like underneath it all and everything, and the voice always scared the crap out of me as a kid too.
Oh yeah, and the first film was so weird as well because like it like and like the first and second films they were so strange because like the first film it had like the first film, spoilers, it doesn't have a very good ending. Like the characters, they, you know,
isn't that where they drop the bomb on all of them?
Yeah, they pretty much all die.
Yeah.
But like it made like the zombies unkillable. You know, like you couldn't kill the zombies by taking their head out. You know, they would keep going.
Yeah, it took a good beating for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then the second film came out, and it had like the two joke characters from the first film, like Frank and Tommy from the first film, who was working in the factory.
Yeah,
and they were grave robbers, and they made and it was pretty silly, you know, it was pretty fun. But the was it Day of the Dead got a sequel called Contagion, which is awful, which is absolutely garbage. Don't watch it. And it's all set in like a mental institution as well, and it has no relation to the Day of the Dead films at all. Also, the first remake of Day of the Dead is absolute garbage.
Day of the Dead was the one with the underground bunkers, and they were trying to teach that zombie to humanize the zombie or something like that.
Yeah. Like they had Bud the zombie, which, funny enough, turned up in The Walking Dead as a homage. But yeah, like the remake of Day of the Dead is absolute garbage. Like, because they made the Bud zombie like the good zombie. Yeah, Brain Dead was so fun, such a fun film. Like it was so garbage. The reason why he didn't eat like the other characters was because when he was alive, he was a vegetarian. And I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you serious? But they did a new remake of Day of the Dead, which I think is actually a little bit better. Which is on Netflix. The acting is a little bit wooden, but I mean, for a remake, it's actually alright. It's not as bad. And they take like a pretty cool take on the Day of the Dead, and I feel like it was a lot more authentic to Day of the Dead than that awful remake that had nothing to do with Day of the Dead at all. Yeah, Diary of the Dead was pretty cool. A bit cheap, to be honest. Land of the Dead was great.
Is that the one with Dennis Hopper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so cool. We got to see King Koopa and Luigi reunited again.
In a much better film than the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, in a much better film. I think Land of the Dead was pretty cool. Yeah, the Land of the Dead game was garbage. Oh my god, Road to Fiddler's Green was so shit.
What's this? RJ says, Tony, will we ever see AJ or Ali deliver RE news like you and JJ do? I'd love to see them do that once in a while. The thing of it is, the team's very busy with a lot of different things we do. AJ really isn't much into the YouTube thing. He is kind of the guy who does like a lot of our research. He's kind of our, what you would call our promotional manager, really. He does a lot of our promotions, as you've seen. He makes up a lot of stuff. He tells people a lot of things. I know Ali would, because he really loves to do this kind of stuff, like when he does the interviews. Because we have, like, Ali's our guy who contacts the actors or their agents and everything, and he does a lot of the interviews, as you've heard. But I mean, I'm sure he would love to do that too, given the chance. We got to talk to him about that if he wants to do anything like that, because we have like a set schedule on how we do things on the channel and stuff. JJ does a lot of that stuff. I just exist. I just kind of fill in for everybody, do what I can for everybody, take the stress off people and everything. So, okay, so guys, we've been streaming for about 3 hours. We're going to let MoonGlint go because we don't want him falling asleep at the keyboard and drooling on stuff and getting electrocuted by accident. So I want to thank you, MoonGlint, for developing this for 3 hours. We hope that you guys really loved all this stuff. Uni, thank you for joining me and talking about all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah, no worries, friends.
Like I said, if you want to follow us, guys, please go follow MoonGlint. His stuff is down below on the channel, or at least it should be. If you want to scroll down to the rest of the channel, you can find all the official ROE Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and the Instagram. The ROE Team is also down there. You can get to all of our Twitter handles and everything. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to message us on the Residents of Evil. If any of you are around on my own private channel for my stream on Thursday, I will be doing a stream for Devil May Cry 3. My friend, who is a very good cosplayer, she does a Femme Dante. She's a very beautiful girl. She's going to be with me doing that stream for her birthday. So if you all want to stop in over at my channel, check the chat right now. There is a link for it right there. We'll be going live at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this Thursday. So I'd greatly appreciate if you guys could come join and check it out and give us a follow. As for everything else, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, MoonGlint. Thank you, Uni, for everything. And thank you, the fans, for continuing to support us, for all your donations tonight, all your questions. We'll do some more streams like this in the future. We just don't want to give you guys too much, but we do want to give you something back for being fans. So with that being said, thank you everybody for watching. My name's Tony, and this is Uni.
Bye, everyone.
And we will see you all next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Have fun.